Good morning. Mitch with you on a Sunday morning. I'm running a little late this morning, so please forgive me. Just didn't want to crawl out of that bed. But I'm back with Mitch's Morning Musings. Thought for you this morning. Why ask why? Why ask why? So yesterday, I alluded to that we may go here today. And as I'm thinking on this, it may go into tomorrow. But we'll see. So I found this. It was a quote, a meme, but really it's a prayer by Karen Costilla, if I'm pronouncing her name right. Tell me if this isn't a prayer of yours, if you've not prayed this prayer. Sometimes I wonder why I do what I do. I know I have some crazy habits that I wish I could change, but I cannot do this all alone. Dear Lord, I ask you to help me let go of this baggage that I know is not pleasing to you. Help me to let go and to be free. I can't tell you how many times I prayed that type of prayer down through the years. And honestly, man, for a long time, it felt like just an empty prayer. Not empty from my end, but it's like God wasn't hearing me. Nothing was given. Nothing was changing. Romans 7, even Paul has a very similar refrain. And I'm reading from the New King James. It says, "For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, that I do not practice. But what I hate, that I do." And then in verse 17, he says, "But now it is no longer I who do it, but sin that dwells in me." So this is a huge topic this morning, and I've got so much to say. But why ask why is my topic. I really have come to realize in my own journey the why question is one of the most valuable questions that we have. I shared a few weeks back here on the live of just a journey, something God had revealed to me, something that he had set me free from. And it was the why question that gets me there. So I think, this may be a 2 or 3 part. Why ask why? So let me back up a little bit and let's talk about this innate question that we all have. I don't understand. I'm a mystery to myself, the Passion Translation says. Paul says, I don't know why I do what I do here in Romans 7. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why can't I stop? Why do I do what I don't want to do? Why can I not stop doing what I don't want to do? Why can't I do what I want to do? Why? Great question. But I really have come to this place in my journey. If action and behavior's ever going to change, if the baggage from our prayer this morning is going to go away, I got to realize, first of all, what Paul says here, I've come to this conclusion. When I do those things, it's not me. It's no longer I, King James Version. It's not me doing it. It is sin that dwells within me. So now I can't go Flip Wilson on this thing and say, well, it's the devil that made me do it. There is an enemy, there is a kingdom of sin, there is a sin nature that is in operation. And we've got to begin to recognize that that's our main enemy, is the sin nature and kingdom. But that still doesn't solve the problem. So I have to begin to recognize, separate myself from the influence of sin, main tenet of my restored teaching. I've got to get that piece in place. But even then, I got to drill underneath and figure out, what am I listening to? So for me, I've come to this conclusion. Every choice, every decision I make, every action that comes out of that is really rooted in and based on a belief. It's something that I believe. If I believe this reality, as much as I want to stop acting out of it, it's going to continue to happen. So I've got to really get to the why. Why do I do what I do? It's not me, it's sin. I got that. But what's the lie of the enemy? What's the belief system that I'm operating in? What's the faulty thinking, the limiting belief that I'm still in agreement with? And to me, the why question is the best question to get up underneath that. For example, realize we're getting a little long. This is going to be 2 or 3 parts. But for example, my recent awareness. For all my life, I have been intimately aware of fear of failure. Fear of men, what others think of me. Fear of rejection. Fear of not fitting in. I know that fear is present and I know it's here. So as I'm growing and maturing in my journey, as I'm beginning to minister to more and more people, I'm gaining more and more freedom from that. I really come to a point where I know what my daddy thinks of me. I know I'm loved. I know I'm accepted. I know I belong to him. So my concern about what you think of me is less and less and less. It doesn't rule me the way it used to. But I noticed every time I grow in ministry, I grow to a new level of understanding, that same old feeling of you don't know nothing, you're nobody wants to hear you, you're just a loser, you're just a fake. It keeps coming back. And I'm just like, why, Father, why? James tells us if we lack wisdom, let us ask of God. He's promised to give us wisdom. So I'm like, all right, God, why? Why is this still a reality in my life? Why do I still struggle? Why do I still battle with these feelings every time I'm being stretched? And for this in particular thing I'm dealing with, it's fear of incompetence, man. I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. That was the fear. And it's like, I know this, but why? And one night I woke up and I realized, you know what? I am incompetent. In many areas of my life, I am woefully incompetent. And if you've listened to me for a while, I was smoking pot at 12. I was smoking crack at 15. School was the last thing on my mind. I did not learn. Now, I'm intelligent. I know that. But there's a lot of foundational understanding that I didn't get because I wasn't paying attention, didn't care about it. So in many areas, I am incompetent. And it was like just realizing that. It's like, you know what? I am. But there's no shame in that. I don't have to be ashamed of not knowing how to do calculus, right? Who cares? If I can't, do the nitty-gritties of a budget, I can find somebody who can. That's why we have accountants. If I can't write a well thought out document, that's fine. I know people who can. I can sit down and share my thoughts. They can help me. I can learn. If I don't know how to run technology, it's all right. I know somebody who can. They can teach me and I can learn. So the why is so important. We've got to get underneath every action, every choice, everything I do is rooted in a belief. There's a limiting mindset. There's faulty thinking. There's a lie from the enemy. And I've just reached this conclusion, guys, until I see that lie and I recognize, oh my gosh, that's just the enemy. He's just a liar. Here's the truth. Here's what God has to say. Until that revelation begins to happen, there's not a whole lot of change for the positive going to take place. So why ask why? That's why. Now, if you're as old as me, when I say why ask why, it may trigger a commercial from years ago for you. It did for me. Why ask why? It ain't about Bud Dry. It's about drilling deep under the faulty belief system that the enemy has formed and created in our thinking. That's what's holding us back. That's what's keeping us from being who God created us to be. That's why we can't let go of the baggage. So I know I feel like I'm rambling a little bit this morning because there's so many pieces of this to try to communicate to you. If you really want to drill into this, in the Restored Teaching Series, the E and the S, enemy and separation, I really go in detail here to help you begin to realize where all this stuff is coming from so we can get up underneath the why, what I'm believing. So I'm going to shut this one down today. We'll pick back up here tomorrow. Continue to think about why. So maybe I'll get a little more specific in why is important to me. But it's a question I use all the time in my own journey and as I work with others, just to keep drilling down. So tomorrow I'll give you a practical example of what I'm talking about as we drill into the why question. Love you guys. Bless you. If you get value, share it for the world. See y'all tomorrow. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.